Welcome in Green Economy online training program. Today's our topic about green finance investment opportunities. And Dr. Farooq Naveed give us his insight about the session, today's topic. So I request Mr. Dr. Farooq to please, can do you listen me?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes,
Walaikum
sir, I
salam.
can listen you.
Okay, you are with us. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'm sending the request to share my screen.
Okay, please send.
Okay. Can you see my screen, sir?
Okay,
Please confirm.
one minute, please. Where your screen visible, Miss Dr. Farooq?
Okay, sir. Can you please confirm that you can see complete screen, full screen?
Uh, it's full screen, I think. Full.
Okay. It is being changed to next slide.
Yeah, slide is not here.
Okay. Okay. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I welcome all the participants in this session. Uh, I also welcome me Abdul Rashid Saab, who has joined just now. So today the topic is related to the future of green finance and sustainable investment. So the topic is very interesting and very informative as we have professionals from financial institutions. So in today's session, we try to discuss the role of government as well as the role of corporations, the corporate sector, as well as the professionals working in that corporation, what they can do in improving the environment condition and ecological viability. So, first of all, I would like to introduce the structure of my presentation. As you can see that the topic relates to the driving profit and the impact and sustainability in the global economy. So let's move towards the structure of my presentation. So the today's agenda is related to the green finance and its role in the global economy. And after that, I will little bit discuss about the how sustainable investing can drive profit and impact. And then we will discuss the green bond, one of the investment instrument, and ESG investing, that is environment, social, and governance, economics, governance sectors, investing and climate friendly business models. Then I will discuss some business models, real world case studies from the developed countries as well as the region in which we are residing, like Pakistan, India, and the neighboring countries. Then I will discuss how you can align your career and investment with sustainability. And at the end, I will conclude my session by presenting a summary uh, what we are going to discuss in this session. So let's dive into it. So first of all, it is very pertinent to discuss what is green finance. So green finance refers to the financial investment because it is the traditional finance. Finance is basically the art and science of managing money. And when we discuss finance in the context of green economy, so it is obviously related to the environment. So green finance refers to the financial investment flowing into sustainable development projects. So these are the projects which are related to the SDGs that we already discussed in previous session, that sustainable development goals. So if our investment is targeted to improve or achieve the SDGs, then that finance is known as green finance. So I again read, the green finance refers to the financial investment flowing into sustainable development projects, environmental products, and policies that encourage better environmental outcomes. So we need to invest in those projects. We need to deploy or inject the funds in those projects which are helpful in improving the environment condition and ultimately achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, which have been established by the United Nations. So, what determines the green finance, the volume, the quantity, the magnitude of green finance? So, there are three factors which determine the volume of green finance. The first and foremost is the climate change and resource scarcity. Since there are numerous countries in the world, and each country is facing different intensity of climate and the carbon footprints. Therefore, the country which is basically experiencing a severe environment condition, that country will be very much eager in deploying funds in those projects which are helpful in improving the environment conditions. And again, the resource scarcity. If we are facing the scarcity of fossil fuels and others, so we need to ultimately move towards the renewable energy so that it can not only satisfy the need of the industry and domestic consumers, but also it contribute towards the environment. And the second thing that decide how much green finance will be injected in an economy, it depends upon the regulatory pressures. So regulatory pressure in terms of net zero goals. So net zero goals means cutting carbon emissions to a small amount of residual emission that can be absorbed and durably stored by nature and other carbon dioxide removal measures, leaving zero in the atmosphere. So ultimate objective is to reduce the CO2 emission to a certain level that is organically absorbed in the environment. So it decide how much carbon emission is there. If there are more carbon emissions, the country will be more eager to invest funds in the green finance. Next is the growing investor demands for ESG. This is very hot and emerging topic because in today's capital market, investors are very much literate concerning the environmental condition. So the investor demand for ESG, environmental, social, and governance factors compliance, because there are also certain requirements, and the stock markets also portraying the performance of those companies which are environment friendly. So keep in mind that this ESG factor is pertaining to the corporations, the companies, the public limited companies, as well as the listed companies. So if investor demand that we are ready to invest in the companies who are which are environment friendly, so the country need to invest more funds and try to convert the traditional companies to ESG compliance companies so that they can get the confidence of the investor. The third is the global trend. We have already discussed in the previous session that owing to the emergence and the agenda of the United Nations, the world is moving towards the green economy. In this way, $35.3 trillion invested in sustainability project by 2022. And similarly, green finance is expected to grow exponentially. There is not a linear relationship, rather there is an exponential relationship as government and corporation commit to net zero targets. So this is the brief introduction of the green finance and what drive the green finance and what are the global trends we can observe in the world. Now moving towards the next slide, that is the green finance and its role in the global economy. So why it is important? Why we need to consider the green finance? It is very important because it addresses the global challenges like climate change, pollution, and biodiversity loss. We already discussed about the climate change and pollution in the previous session, but the new thing is the biodiversity loss. It is also one of the implications of the environment impairment, because our environment is being impaired. We are experiencing the biodiversity loss. So biodiversity loss is related to the reduction of biological diversity in the specific area, which can be temporary or permanent. So it can occur when species disappear completely or when their numbers decrease. We can observe in the environment that specific species have been decreasing over the period of time. It is again one of the implications that we are experiencing owing to the pollution and climate change. So this is important to inject the green finance in order to preserve the species and as well as to avoid the biodiversity loss. Second, why green finance is important? It is important because it promotes long-term economic stability. by funding renewable energy, clean transportation, and sustainable infrastructure. So we can observe that it is related to the long-term perspective. So when we inject the fund in the green projects, it will not only improve the environmental condition, but it will enable a competitive advantage for the government as well as the corporations. So, what are the key players which are important in the context of green finance? Obviously, the three main players include the governments, financial institutions, and corporations. So government is very important in improving and deploying the uh, green finance, because government can decide the direction which projects are important in the context of achieving the SDGs which are pertinent to a particular country. Similarly, financial institutions, it includes the banking as well as the non-banking financial institutions. So they can, how they can play a role in injecting the green finance, and how they can play their role in improving the environment condition through green loans and sustainability bonds. Green loans, as the name specifies, these loans are loans which are associated or used for the improvement of environment condition. If a loan is used for renewable energy, that is the green loan. If a loan is used to improve the sustainable infrastructure, that is the green loan. Similarly, another source of finance is the bonds, which is a debt product. But sustainable linked bonds means these bonds generate the funds which can ultimately use for the development of sustainable projects, as well as designing such infrastructure which are helpful in improving the environment condition, as well as preserving the scarce resources of the economy. Next is the economic impact. What is the impact of green finance? So green finance can create 24 million jobs globally by 2030. It is International Labour Organization predicts that green finance is very crucial, as it has the potential and it can create new jobs, because when we transform the industry from the traditional to a contemporary industry which are based on the renewable energy, so it can also create jobs by uh, 24 million jobs globally. Moreover, green finance, it also reduces systematic risk associated with the climate change. As we have various participants which are very much familiar with the systematic risk, because there are two types of risk: the systematic and non-systematic risk. The non-systematic risk can be diversified, can be minimized by investing in multiple projects. But what about the systematic risk? We cannot avoid the systematic risk, as well as it is inherent in the system. It is because of the flood, like the disasters, which can impair the investment. So, in order to reduce the systematic risk, we need to go for green finance, as it has the potential to reduce the systematic risk, because green finance is helpful in improving the climate conditions and environment and reducing the pollution. Now, uh, how sustainable investing can drive profit and impact. These are the two dimensions. The first is the profit, and second is the impact. To sustainable investing, the investment are deploying of funds which are used for creating renewable projects, renewable energy projects, or improving the infrastructure. So there you can observe that we can consider the profit as well as the impact. From the viewpoint of the profit, companies with strong ESG performance often outperform their peers. So before moving to the subsequent point, I would like to express more detail concerning the ESG. See, ESG is basically related to the corporations, because uh, in our environment, very much proportion is attributed to the companies, local companies as well as the multinational companies, because these companies are using energy for the production. So these companies are very much responsible for polluting the environment. In order uh, uh, in cope with these conditions, there is a matrix which is known as ESG. E stands for environment, S stands for social, and G for economic governance. So there are certain parameters which express the ESG score for a particular company. How much this company is environment friendly. For this purpose, a certain score is being calculated. That score is known as ESG score. So companies with strong ESG means those companies which are uh, working, uh, are deploying their funds, are conducting their business by preserving the environment condition. So those companies are known as ESG compliant companies. So companies with strong ESG performance often outperform their peers, means those companies which are considering the environment, their performance, their profitability is better than the other companies which are not compliant, ESG compliant companies. So it is one of the perspective from the profit side. So if the company wants to increase their profit and market acceptability, the company need to consider the environment factor, social factor, and governance factor, because it contribute towards their profitability and financial performance. And the second aspect is the impact. Investment in renewable energy, clean water, and sustainable agriculture generate measurable social and environmental benefits. If the company is considering the environment and preserving the environment and is working in order to reduce the carbon footprints, it will help, it will create a measurable impact, measurable benefit which they can see among their stakeholders. For example, their shareholder will value that this company is good in comparison with other companies. Their suppliers will also put more weight to the company which are environment friendly. So this is basically expressing the two sides of the green finance investment. If a company is investing in the projects which are environment friendly, it will not only contribute towards better financial performance, but also increase their reputation amongst their stakeholders. And how do we measure whether the company is environment friendly or not? I told you earlier that there are ESG scores which the company normally publish in their annual reports. How much they are environment, how much they are environment friendly, what is their score. So there are certain factors. Some factors are related to the environment, some are related to the social, and some are the related to the governance, like the board of governance, how much independent directors are there, and what is the proportion of female directors. So there are certain factors which decide the ESG score of a company. So higher score indicate that this company is better from the perspective of environment, social, and governance perspective, as well as carbon footprints, because the company is deploying funds for the betterment of the environment. So ultimately, it can it can reduce the carbon footprints and increase their impact reporting. And the living example of such ESG is the Tesla market value, because Tesla is working for the renewable energy. So its market value surged due to its focus on the clean energy. And again, another example is related to the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan, boosted brand loyalty and their revenues. So Unilever is working for the sustainable projects. So their customer are loyal because they consider that Unilever business model is preserving the environment. Unilever is not polluting the environment. Therefore, their customer are much loyal as compared to other companies. Next is the green bond, ESG investing, and climate friendly business models. So here I will discuss some business models. First of all, these are the um, fund generation models. That is the green bonds. Green bonds, I already told you that the company normally raise funds through equity or debt. So bond is one of the types which a company use to generate the debt, and the fund which company generate use for sustainable projects like renewable energy and the projects which are environment friendly. So fixed income instruments specifically earmarked for climate and environmental projects issued by government, municipalities, and corporations. So we have also example in the Pakistan, as in 2021, uh, Pakistan Water and Power Development Authority issued 500 million green bond to fund hydroelectric project. So we have also this example in Pakistan, and we have another example from the corporation, that is Apple, because Apple raised 2.2 billion green bonds. So this fund will be utilized to preserve the environment. Apple will use these funds, which will not impair the environmental condition. And next is the ESG investing. Investing means the companies used to deploy funds in activities which improve the environmental condition and social condition and the governance condition. So incorporate environmental, social, and governance factor into investment decisions. When the corporations normally make decisions, they consider the net present value and IRR. But this is another side of investment. When companies make decisions, they do not only consider the IRR and NPV or payback period, they also consider what this investment will contribute to the environment, social and governance factor. If ESG metrics approve that this investment will result in good environmental condition, then they will go for that investment. If the investment decision is going to impair the environment, so they will not invest fund in that particular project, because they have to face not only the consequences in terms of profitability, but also in terms of their customer loyalty. Again, ESG investing account for over one third of the global asset under management, because there are asset management companies. So companies investing in the ESG, it is not a nominal investment. Rather, it accounts for 33.33% of the global assets under management. And we have also observed that investment in environment friendly projects, it contributes to the circular economy, because it is the type of investment. When a company invests for circular economy or the projects to recycle the products, to recycle the waste, it will also improve the environmental condition and carbon neutral supply chains, because some business model are heavily dependent on the transport and other mode which are used for the to bring the raw material in the manufacturing facility and creating the products, the finished product, and then distribute those products to the market. So this is basically the supply chain. So the company need to consider that their supply chain model must consider the environment. They should design such a supply chain model that preserve the environment, that is helpful in reducing the carbon footprints and carbon CO2 emissions. Next is the real world cases, case studies of green investment success. I already told you that I have gathered data pertaining to the developed countries as well as the developing countries. So we have the first company that is related to the Denmark. So Ørsted is a Denmark company, because the Denmark power mix account for 80% of the renewable energy, because Denmark is producing most of their energy with the help of renewable sources like hydroelectric, solar, and wind power. So transition from fossil fuel to renewable energy, becoming the world's most sustainable energy company. And the living example is Ørsted company, which is generating the highest energy mix in the world, which is 80%. Next is the Next Era Energy, is a USA based company. It is the largest wind and solar energy producer in the world, outperforms the S&P 500 consistently. So this is the thing that I was explaining in previous slide, that converting or converging towards renewable energy not only helpful in improving the environment condition, but also it is associated with improving the financial performance of the company, as the Next Era Energy has outperformed in the S&P 500 companies. So this is the evidence that investment in the environment related products projects is helpful in improving the business as well as the customer loyalty. Next example is pertaining to the India, that is Renew Power. So Renew Power is one of the India's largest renewable energy companies, focusing on wind and solar energy. Again, this is the green investment, and this investment is generating returns and also preserving the environment. This company was founded in 2011 and it has grown to become the leader in India's clean energy transition. Next example is pertaining to the Pakistan, that is Sapphire Wind Power Project. So Pakistan first large-scale wind power project developed by Sapphire Textile Mill in Sindh with installed capacity of 52.8 megawatt, providing clean energy to 100,000 households. And it also reduces the CO2 emission by 150,000 tons annually. So these are the real world case studies, because these things that we are discussing is not only available in the books, rather these things are available in practical, because companies are deploying green finance in order to increase their financial performance as well as to improve the environmental conditions. So the next topic is related to the career, because we all are in the session of green economy and green finance. So uh, how we can take benefit of this knowledge, and can we design a career which is more fruitful, because we not only uh, uh, work for our career development but also for preserving the environment. So these are the certain tracks that we can adopt for professional, how we can align our career and investment with sustainability. For professional, upskill in ESG reporting, carbon accounting, and sustainable finance. These are the emerging fields, because we have traditionally an accountant, but this time because we are confronting with the environmental condition, so we need to account for the carbon emission, and for this purpose there is a term that is carbon accounting, which tracks record of the carbon emission of a company, how much carbon is being emitted to the environment. And sustainable finance. Sustainable finance is, I already told you that this finance is related to deploying the funds in the projects which improve the environmental condition and sustainability, ESG related projects. So these are the sustainable finance. If you have the expertise in sustainable finance, you can join this career. And there is an opportunity which is related to the world most prestigious charter of finance, that is CFA, that is Chartered Financial Analyst Institute America. So if someone wants, one can join organization like CFA Institute ESG Investing Certificate Program. So this program is also helpful in developing more understanding about ESG factors and how one can contribute in improving the environmental condition. So this was from the professional perspective. From investor perspective, for an investor need to consider while making investment how allocate funds to ESG compliant mutual funds. Investor need to consider while making the investment and go for those funds which are environment friendly. And ETF, that these are the exchange traded funds or green bonds. So before making an investment, we need to consider that where our fund will be utilized. If it will be utilized for the betterment of the environment, so do for investment. If the fund will be used for impairment of the environment in the fossil fuels or the contemporary or the methods of energy generation which are classical or the previous methods, so do not invest for that project, do not go for the mutual funds, because our fund will be utilized to pollute the environment. From the organization perspective, organization need to integrate ESG metrics into corporate strategy. And the good news is most of the corporations report their ESG performance in their annual report. And partner with green finance initiative like the UN principles for responsible investment, so that they can better align their strategy and environment condition. And this is about little second last slide, future of the green finance, emerging trends. So I told you about what is um, being happening in the global world and what is latest in this field, emerging trend. This is related to the AI and blockchain for transparent ESG reporting, because blockchain mechanism is the emerging technology which can be deployed to better track the record of the ESG reporting and growth of blue finance. This is very important, because we have been discussing the green finance. This blue finance is emerging topic. It is considered with the oceans, because oceans are being impaired due to the environmental condition. The species residing in the ocean, as well as the parameters which decide the quality of the ocean, we need to consider these factors also, in addition to the environment condition. So beside green economy, the world is now moving towards the blue finance to preserve the environmental condition from the ocean perspective, and expansion of green fintech. So we need to design such financial technology which are helpful in expanding finance by capitalizing the latest technology. But there are certain challenges. What are those challenges? I just listed two important challenges. The first is the greenwashing and lack of standard metrics. The greenwashing is very important concept, because previously we had certain terminology like window dressing in the accounting. The accountant used to portray a good financial condition. Actually, the condition is different, but what the accountants are portraying, they indicate that their company is very profitable. So, in the context of green finance, greenwashing means the company is not as much clean and ESG compliant as they are portraying through their annual report. So, this concept is known as greenwashing, because the investor and the stakeholder look at the annual report, and the annual reports prepared by the expert, which camouflage the actual condition. So greenwashing, we need to consider the greenwashing effect, and try to extract the true position and the true environment friendliness of the company by keeping aside the condition which is being portrayed by the accountants. And the next challenge is balancing short-term profit with long-term sustainability. The challenge is because when we move for green finance, we need to deploy more funds. So these deployment of these funds reduce profit in the short term, but in the long term, these profits bring fruits. So the companies may be hesitant to deploy funds in the green finance, because they consider that their profit will be reduced in the short term. So that's why these are the hurdles which are refraining the companies by adopting the green environment policies. And what is the call to action? How we can improve? Collaborate across sector to scale green finance, because each industry has different standards. So we need to collaborate, invest in innovation and education to drive the transition to a sustainable economy. So we need to understand why our act is important and how it can contribute to the environment as well as the profitability of the company. Now, this is the session summary. In this session, we have discussed the green finance and the importance of green finance, and discussed that green finance is critical tool for addressing global challenges, and sustainable investing deliver both financial returns and positive impact of the company, and professional and institute must lead the transition to a sustainable future. So this is all about today's session. Now I would like to if you face any difficulty in understanding, you can ask question. Ji, over to you, Mr. Amit.
Thank you, Dr. And we are honored today as well, Mr. Abdul Rashid, Mia Abdul Rashid, Chairman Task Force Pakistan Scientist Forum, is with us. But he is a silent listener, because he is in traveling. And I request to the participants If they have any question or want to understand anything, they might not be understand yet. Please ask. Please raise your hand if you have any question.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum
Yes,
salam.
Mr. Agari.
Sir, my name is Jan Ali from Hyderabad, Pakistan.
Okay.
And I'm a professional journalist. Sir, my question is regarding to the blockchain for transparent ESG reporting.
Hmm.
Sir, can you explain more how can learn it and what are the institutes from there we can learn it from there?
Yes, John, thank you because you have listened very carefully, and I was expecting this question from the participant. So this is the emerging technology, blockchain, as you uh, understand that this is the latest technology which preserve the record because uh, I just give you very simple example as in the business we keep the record of every transaction if an asset is being purchased if someone buy the asset so we need to understand who was the previous owner and what that owner uh, do that particular asset and what is the history of that particular asset, how many hours that asset has been used, what was the production. So this is the historical record that is preserved in terms of blocks, and for this purpose we are using a certain algorithm to preserve that record. So this is basically artificial intelligence based technology and based on the ethereum to preserve the record. So this was available in the cryptocurrency, but this is not very much common in the environment. So, but this trend is being started in the environmental reporting. So this will help to track the history of the environmental factors as well as the future. We can preserve the record. It is basically the DNA of the environment. So by using and deploying the blockchain technology, we can keep the DNA of the environmental, social, and governance factor. Hopefully answer the question.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ali Navari. Anyone else?
Thank you, sir.
Please raise your hand for any question. Mr. Arman. Shahid Baksh, Mr. Shahid Baksh.
No, sir. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Shahid.
Sir, I must encourage all the participants. They may ask question in their native language.
Okay.
वेरी मच हैप्पी, बहुत खुशी होगी अगर आप हमें क्वेश्चन पूछे तो हमें पता लगेगा आपने बाकी इसको जैसे लगारी साहब ने बड़ा ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन पता लग रहा है कि वो बड़ी तवज्जो से सुन रहे थे। तो इस तरह और भी डेलिबरेटली कुछ चीजें आपके लिए इसमें छोड़ दी जाती हैं ताकि आपको वो क्लिक करें, ट्रिगर करें कि आप पूछें। तो मैं सबसे कहूंगा कि अगर आप कोई भी चीज पूछना चाहते हैं, कोई चीज समझ नहीं आई या आप इसके अलावा जो कंटेंट्स हैं इसके अलावा भी अगर आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं तो यू शुड कम फॉरवर्ड एंड आस्क योर क्वेश्चन प्लीज।
So anyone among the participant understand the ESG, the term you ESG? Just tell the
Sir,
name,
is
just tell the name, full name, that abbreviation.
sir, if
जितना
there
भी
is
आप
no
कुछ कहना चाह
question,
रहे
can I ask? Yes, sir.
हैं यस यस।
सर ये जो आपने जो ग्रीन बॉन्ड का जिक्र किया था, ये सर ये वही बॉन्ड्स हैं जो अपन मार्केट में अवेलेबल होते हैं थ्रू बैंक्स, या ये कोई डिफरेंट बॉन्ड्स हैं?
असल में ये जो बॉन्ड है ना, जैसे मैंने बताया कि ये बेसिकली एक फंड रेज करने का जरिया होते हैं, इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट है फंड को रेज करने के लिए। अच्छा, इसको ग्रीन बॉन्ड क्यों कहा जाता है? इसको ग्रीन बॉन्ड इसलिए कहा जाता है कि ये जो पैसे इकट्ठे होंगे ना, ये पैसे हमने किसी ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं लगाने जो इन्वायरमेंट को पोल्यूट करे। मतलब हमने, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान फंड रेज कर रही है और वो फंड से गवर्नमेंट जो है वो ट्रांसपोर्ट कंपनी बना देती है। तो
सही।
दैट फंड ग्रीन ग्रीन फंड, green bond, because is not improving the environmental condition, rather increasing carbon footprint. तो वो जो फंड है वो ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट में यूज हो रहा है जो कि इन्वायरमेंट को पोल्यूट नहीं कर रहा बल्कि इम्प्रूव कर रहा है। मास ट्रांजिट के लिए एक ऐसा सिस्टम है जो कि इन्वायरमेंट को इम्प्रूव कर रहा है। तो अब ये जो बॉन्ड है, जो पैसा इकट्ठा किया, इसे हम कहेंगे कि ग्रीन बॉन्ड है। जैसे मैंने एग्जांपल दी कि वापडा ने $500 मिलियन किए ग्रीन बॉन्ड के नाम पर, वो उन्होंने हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक्स में लगाए ताकि इन्वायरमेंट को बेहतर किया जा सके। तो अब जितने भी पैसे कॉरपोरेशन इकट्ठी करती हैं या गवर्नमेंट करती हैं इंटरनेशनल और नेशनली, उनकी रेटिंग पब्लिश की जाती है कि ये फंड जहां पर यूज होगा उससे इन्वायरमेंट को फायदा होगा या नुकसान होगा, यानी इन्वायरमेंट कंप्लाइंट है या नहीं है। और इस तरह के उनके जो रेटिंग है ना, जैसे पाकरा की रेटिंग होती है, क्रेडिट रेटिंग भी, इस तरह इन्वायरमेंटल रेटिंग भी पब्लिश होती है ताकि इन्वेस्टर को पता हो कि मेरा पैसा इन्वायरमेंट की बेहतरी के लिए इस्तेमाल होगा या इन्वायरमेंट करने के लिए इस्तेमाल होगा। इफ इट इज गोइंग टू इम्प्रूव द इन्वायरमेंट, दैट इज द ग्रीन फंड, green fund. Otherwise it is not green fund, it will be simple bond.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you.
Welcome. हाँ जी, ईएसजी का कोई बताएंगे कि ईएसजी, इन्वायरमेंट, सोशल और गवर्नेंस फैक्टर, किसी भी कंपनी के, आपके जिस कंपनी में आप काम करते हैं उसके कौन कौन से ऐसे स्टेप्स हैं जिनसे इन्वायरमेंट पोल्यूट हो रहा है या इम्प्रूव हो रहा है। जिन कंपनीज में आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं, प्रोफेशनल हैं, तो हाउ वी कैन कंट्रीब्यूट, uh, how we can discuss the environment of our company, how it is interacting with the carbon footprints, किस तरह से ये पोल्यूशन को कम कर रहे हैं या ज्यादा कर रही है। सोशल फैक्टर्स, जैसे मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ, ये जो CSR है, बेसिकली कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, ये देखते हैं कि जो कंपनीज हैं वो बेसिकली इस लैंड के रिसोर्सेज को यूज कर रहे हैं ना, पानी को भी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं और हमारी बिजली भी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, तो वो देखते हैं कि ये वापस क्या दे रहे हैं। यानी उन्होंने कोई डिस्पेंसरी बना दी है तो ये एक सोशल वेलफेयर का काम, उन्होंने कोई स्कूल बना दिया है तो ये सोशल का काम होगा। यानी ईएसजी मैट्रिक्स में इसके नंबर हैं, उन नंबर्स को इकट्ठा करके ईएसजी स्कोर बनाया जाता है। इसी तरह गवर्नेंस के फैक्टर हैं कि कंपनी ने गवर्नेंस के लिए जो कॉर्पोरेट बोर्ड ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस बनाया हुआ है, उस बोर्ड का चेयरमैन कौन है, उस बोर्ड में डायरेक्टर्स कितने हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर्स कितने हैं, सारे अपने रिश्तेदार भर्ती किए हुए हैं या कोई इंडिपेंडेंट लोग भी रखे हैं जो कंपनी के तमाम डिसीजन को प्रिजर्व कर सकें। तो आप अपनी इस कंपनी से रिलेटेड जहां पे भी आप जॉब करते हैं, उस हवाले से इन्वायरमेंटल, सोशल या गवर्नेंस फैक्टर अगर कुछ बताना चाहते हैं तो जरूर बताएं।
ओके, कोई बात करना चाहता है? ओके, थैंक यू। सो
आप लिख भी सकते हैं, क्वेश्चन लिख सकते हैं चैट में, अगर कोई क्वेश्चन आप नहीं बताना चाहते तो लिख भी सकते हैं।
I think there is no question from any participant. Sir, Mia Abdul Rashid Saab, can you say anything in a short version?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Sir,
Although I am traveling towards, Faisalabad from Lahore, but I am quite happy to listen to you people and the way Mr. Farah Naveed presented the presentation. That was quite nice, and the participants are quite happy when they have no allegation, no question at all. It means they agree with the statement of and presentation of Mr. Dr. Naveed Ahmad. And it is a matter of great pleasure for me to talk to Mr. Amar, who is always proactive, mashallah, mashallah. At the moment, I am traveling, but it was my burning wish to talk and to present my self, over there. But I couldn't do so because of the fear of distortion of the signals, and it happened so many times, while listening to you even.
thank
So
you.
it's quite nice.
We may accept you on Sunday session, sir.
Sure,
Sir.
please. Sure.
Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you. Dr. Farooq sir.
Yes, sir. I'm very thankful for the compliment and the comments given by me, Abdul Rashid. Hopefully, we will have a good session on Sunday. So I again ask if you have any question. Otherwise, over to Mr. Amit. You can continue.
Okay, we have a one short blog video for participants about how to boost our local businesses. So I share just a short video.
Effective ways to support and boost visibility for local small businesses was welcome to scale up on supporting local small.
The video is not visible.
As these enterprises
Not visible.
Yes, sir. We cannot see your video.
Okay.
We are looking at the Ruhi support program of small business. 10 tips.
Okay.
I think you need to scroll up.
Okay. Now.
Yes, yes, sir. Start the video.
Local small businesses was welcome to scale up on supporting local small businesses is more crucial than ever as these enterprises
Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Unique products, personalized services.
This one, Doctor. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
And contribute significantly to the local economy. Yet, they often face challenges in gaining visibility and attracting customers. This blog post will explore 10 effective ways to support and boost visibility for local small businesses, combining both online and offline strategies. 1. Shop locally and encourage others to do the same. Why it matters. Shopping locally not only supports small businesses but also keeps money circulating within the community. According to the American Independent Business Alliance, for every $100 spent at a local business, $68 stays in the local economy. Implementation tips. Make the habit of visiting local shops and markets. Spread the word by sharing your experiences on social media. Encourage friends and family to choose local over big box retailers. Example, in Portland, Oregon, a local bookstore saw a 50% increase in sales after a public campaign encouraged residents to shop locally during the holiday season. 2. Leverage social media to share and promote what matters. Social media platforms have become powerful tools for increasing visibility. With over 4.5 million social media users globally, small businesses can reach a wider audience. Implementation tips. Share posts from local businesses on your feed and stories. Use Use hashtags like #support local small businesses and tag the business. Write positive reviews and testimonials. Example, a small bakery in Chicago gained 2,000 followers and doubled its customer base after local influencers featured their products on Instagram. 3. Attend local events and markets. Why it matters. Offline engagement through local events strengthens community ties and offers businesses a platform to showcase their offerings. Implementation tips. Attend farmers markets, craft fairs, and pop-up shops. Participate in community events like charity runs or street festivals. Network with business owners and exchange contact information. Example, in Austin, Texas, local pop-up markets have become a popular venue for small businesses to connect with customers and other entrepreneurs, leading to collaborations and increased sales. 4. Write and share blog posts or articles while others. Content creation is an excellent way to highlight the stories and values of local businesses. A well-written article can attract attention and drive traffic to your sites. Implementation tips. Interview business owners and share their stories. Include details about the products or services they offer. Use long-tail keywords related to supporting local small businesses. Example, a blog featuring artisanal coffee shops in Seattle not only boosted their online visibility but also attracted tourists interested in local flavors. 5. Collaborate with local influencers. Why it matters. Influencers can amplify a business's reach by introducing it to their follower base. A recommendation from a trusted source can significantly impact consumer choices. Implementation tips. Identify local influencers that align with the business. Offer products or services in exchange for honest reviews. Plan joint events or promotions. Example, a local fashion boutique in New York City saw a 25% increase in sales after partnering with a fashion blogger for a style showcase. 6. Create community loyalty programs. Why it matters. Loyalty programs encourage repeated patronage and help build long-term relationships with customers. They also offer incentives for customers to choose local options. Implementation tips. Develop a rewards system offering discounts or freebies. Collaborate with other local businesses for cross-promotions. Use punch cards, apps, or physical coupons. Example, a small fitness studio in Denver introduced a loyalty program that rewarded members with free classes after 10 visits, resulting in a 40% increase in member retention. 7. Volunteer or sponsor local causes. Why it matters. Supporting local causes not only helps the community but also enhances a business's reputation. It shows that the business is invested in the community's well-being. Implementation tips. Sponsor local sports teams or community events. Organize charity drives or participate in local cleanup days. Offer discounts to volunteers or donors. Example, a local pizzeria in San Francisco gained a loyal customer base after sponsoring a homeless shelter weekly meals, fostering goodwill and community support. 8. Host workshops or classes. Why it matters. Hosting educational or engaging events can attract new customers and provide value beyond the business's primary offerings. Implementation tips. Offer workshops related to the business, such as cooking classes or DIY crafts. Collaborate with other local experts to expand the offerings. Advertise through local channels and social media. Example, a small gardening store in Miami increased foot traffic by 50% after hosting free gardening workshops every Saturday, drawing in both novice and experienced gardeners. 9. Engage with local media. Why it matters. Local newspapers, radio stations, and TV channels can help small businesses reach a broader audience. Media coverage can lend credibility and increase visibility. Implementation tips. Send press releases about new products, events, or milestones. Offer to write guest columns or participate in interviews. Build relationships with local journalists and editors. Example, a local brewery in Boston gained regional attention after a feature in the city's popular lifestyle magazine, leading to increased visitation and sales. reviews can enhance our business's reputation and attract new customers. Implementation tips. Encourage happy customers to leave reviews on platforms like Google, Yelp, or TripAdvisor. Respond to reviews, thanking customers and addressing any concerns. Display positive reviews in store or the business website. Example, a family-owned restaurant in Los Angeles saw a 20% increase in bookings after actively encouraging diners to leave reviews, leading to a higher rating on Yelp. Conclusion, supporting local small businesses is essential for fostering vibrant communities and sustainable economies. By implementing these strategies, you can play a pivotal role in boosting the visibility and success of these vital enterprises. From shopping locally and leveraging social media to engaging with local events and media, each action contributes to a thriving local business ecosystem. Thought-provoking questions. How can we further integrate local businesses in our daily lives? What other creative strategies can communities develop to support local small businesses? Join the conversation and share your ideas. Local businesses are the heart of our communities. By supporting them, we not only contribute to economic growth, but also preserve the unique character and charm of our neighborhoods. Let's commit to making a difference today. 10 effective ways to support and boost visibility for local small businesses. Welcome to.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Farooq, and all the participants. If they have any question, we are here to answer.
Alternatively, you can post a question in the group as well.
Yeah. So, Dr. Farooq, thank you very much. I think the participants have no question right now. They will, if they have any, ask anything, they write their answer in group, WhatsApp group. And we will be happy to answer. So thank you very much. If anyone want to say anything, we have just few minutes. Mr. Orman. We have one participant from foreigner participant. And I think he is not present. Just he is in a meeting but not present there. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lagari wants to ask, is there any certificate for today's session? I think it will be distributed at the end of the
we give the certificate, but the certificate for we open the floor for all the participants. We advertise it on LinkedIn, Facebook, and many other channels for people to join us. But the participant, certification for only those participants who are paid participants.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. and all the participants being with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And we are hoping all the participants will be with us on Sunday as well at 8 p.m. p.m. And Ms. Sana present his
Inshallah.
session, and Mia Abdul Rashid will also be present in this session and will give us his insight. Thank you very much.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.